Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Breath of the Wild Commonplace Journal. Tonight I had a very cozy gaming session complete with candles and coffee from Wales. I absolutely love this blend. It's difficult to get in the US. I had to have it shipped directly from Wales itself, but oh my gosh, it's some of the best coffee that I've had in a long time. It was delicious. And yes, I probably shouldn't be having coffee this late in the evening, but I was up for some gaming, so I decided that it would be okay just this once. So the main thing I wanted to cover in this follow-up episode to my initial introduction to the Commonplace series is just kind of give you a picture of how a gaming plus notebooking session might go. So I will typically play in the evenings, that's when I have free time, and on this particular night I was going through several different shrines that I had found and put on my map but hadn't actually completed yet. I needed to complete them so that I could get enough hearts to get the Master Sword. It's a whole thing. I could go into it in more detail if you're curious, but suffice it to say that this evening was spent solving lots of puzzles and doing some really cool battles, and had a great time with it. The highlight of the evening was, of course, pulling the Master Sword from the stone. So depending on how late in the evening it is that I play, I may wait till the next day to actually work on my notebook. In this case, it was a little bit late when I finished and I was tired, so I decided to wait until the next day, and it also was better lighting so that I could film it for you all. But one of the first things that I will do is start out in the play log journal, and I will just jot down a few thoughts and a few memories of what I did the last time I played. And I'm trying to have a little bit of fun with it and be kind of creative with my voice in these little journal entries and make it sound very much like a medieval travel journal. So this semester I studied Gerald of Wales, and one of the things that he is known for is these unusual books where he's basically just put together what could best be described as a travel journal, where he's documenting all the places that he went, interesting stories about the places that he's been, that he's heard people tell him, things about the geography, the natural world. It's just kind of a catch-all. And so I'm trying to evoke that kind of feeling in this travel journal. And since I had a blood moon the night I was playing, I decided I had to include a blood moon stamp, which just makes it look even more epic in my opinion. I won't do this always because Instax photos are not necessarily the cheapest thing in the world, but I will, especially if I do something quite memorable, I will take a screenshot of it through the Switch and then later send it to my phone so that I can print it off in an Instax print. I'd like to someday actually have a real printer so I can print things in color and, you know, make photos much more cheaply, and they would be thinner so it would be better in the notebook in the long run. But for now, I will just print off, highlight moments and put them in this journal just amongst the text so that it feels, very scrapbooky and kind of illustrates, what happened that day. And I'll always label the pictures so that I remember where it came from. I don't have a ton of stamps, but I found a few that are just perfect for the Breath of the Wild, including some leaf ones that look like, Korok leaves. It's really cool. So I'll often decorate with, just a little bit of stamping. I'll also eventually start drawing in more artwork. Right now, the main thing that I've been spending time drawing are the maps, as you can see here. I haven't finished all of the maps yet. I'm kind of enjoying the process and taking my time with it. I believe there's a total of 15 different sections on the Breath of the Wild map, and I think I've done maybe 5, so about a third of them. And I just draw them in pencil, freestyle. They're not the most 100% accurate maps, but it's at least a recognizable map of the specific region. And I will often include runes and just some of the main, geological or architectural features of the area will be labeled. So that way I can kind of at a glance remember, oh yeah, this is where Zora's domain is, for example, or this is where a divine beast is if I need to go back and look at it. And I'll always mark all of the shrines so that I can find those easily again. And I love adding just a few watercolor details just to make it look a little bit more vintage. These aren't like, you know, super professional maps, but I feel like that adds to the character of them. It makes them look as if they were just handmade, obviously. And the watercolor with the pigments that I've chosen to use, it gives it a very vintage, aged look, as if it was, you know, perhaps damaged being out in the elements and being carried around on, you know, outdoor adventures. Another thing that I try to do is remember to mark in my calendar what I did that night. I'll usually just put a symbol kind of covering, you know, the main thing that got done. And here is a little flip through of everything I've done so far. I wanted just to kind of give you a little glimpse of what it included so that you could see where the journal's currently at. There's still a lot of pages I need to fill in, but I'm not in a rush to do it. I want to enjoy this process, and it's been really fun to do this. It's a cool experience making the game into something tangible like this, bringing something digital into the real world so that I can have this, you know, artifact to remember my time playing the game. I hope that was interesting to you and gave you some ideas if you're planning on making your own kind of gaming journal. I think it's really fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.